I consider the name Call of the Wind, and I also consider the XANDRIA attribution, and what I've skimmed through in terms of the lyrics, and I see a fantasy vision that beautifully aids their work. And I'm sure of a number, which in the preceding encounter we took with Neverworld's End, that being Forevermore, I risked misidentifying this piece, and I quickly skirted around that. As you probably witnessed, Call of the Wind is not Call of the Wild, though that one appears everywhere. Maybe even, in some music releases, yes. I'm thinking more so, again, in the broader art space. Call of the Wind is a bit more original, though, and it definitely imbues, again, that XANDRIA quality of fantasy that I quite like, and the symphonic metal trait, which is, as I've said many times, an automatic favorite for me, being a metalhead of many years. I really like the exploration here, and with XANDRIA's voice, German-based, if anybody's not familiar with their work, and you're approaching on initiation status, I hope there are some of you. Though I would recommend in our time together that we spent with Neverworld's End, and in the midst of our deep dive with XANDRIA, as I promised you many months ago, I would recommend you entertain Neverworld's End fully. I'm going to do that for myself, apart from the 4 tracks we're humoring together, but at least the preceding 3 of what we've looked at together, being A Prophecy of Worlds to Fall, the album Initiation, Valentine, and Forevermore, all 3 pieces were great. I would imagine the general album is also going to boast a similar competence. This is XANDRIA we're talking about, in a group that I have quickly fallen in love with, generally in the midst of the present era, with The Wonder Still Awaiting. That's what my initiation experience was several months ago with those first 6 pieces, and another 3 accompanying and a reinvention track. And this is the initiation to our deep dive, but still all the same, XANDRIA familiarity. Growing here, but understandable in what I have witnessed, especially on this album. I think it'd be warranted for you, and deserved to XANDRIA's credit, for you to go explore the album fully. I'm going to do just that. We're going to take one more experience together, in fact, on Neverworld's End, before we return to closer timings, with other previous releases, next being a selection of works off of Sacrificium. Oh, I cannot wait to get to that one. But Neverworld's End has been quite enjoyable, right? Similar XANDRIA energy and vibes, different lineup in terms of exposure of what I've generally experienced with XANDRIA's work, notably with the vocal talents of Manuela Kraler, the next German operatic vocalist I've been introduced to, following Uli Perhonen, another favorite of mine, or any others I'm forgetting about at the moment. That's a possibility. I spend a lot of time with European metal, so you'll forgive me if some names escape me, but operatic metal, I'm quickly devoting a love for it. And with XANDRIA, they weren't the initiator, but they were an ever developer. And Manuela's voice, quite beautiful. I love the vibrato here. And XANDRIA does have a record of competent lead female vocalists, again with the operatic regards, whether it be Manuela, Omba, or our upcoming one that we're going to be introduced to finally after waiting how long, Diana. I'm looking forward to it. Anywho, I've been waiting to go down the XANDRIA route for months, in particular to get to Sacrificium because of her. Anywho, Neverworld's End, that was great. I love being introduced to Manuela. She's a great vocalist. Even better to humor her with you alongside fresh XANDRIA pieces. The way XANDRIA, I believe, is best enjoyed, and his music is, I think, personally, it's best enjoyed in company, and I hope we're having a fun time together, and whatever artist we humor. There's not been one song or artist I've not liked humoring. XANDRIA is absolutely no exception. And to dive deeper in my own experiences with them, and to get to a level where I would feel, I imagine many of you would probably agree with this, in the XANDRIA fan base, I would have a credibility in saying our adoration, though your time spent with them is going to always outshine mine, we're going to be at equal adoration levels. I'm growing in that, as you can see, because we're taking those deep dives together. The way XANDRIA, I think, is best meant to be enjoyed. Call of the Wind, I'm sure, will follow suit of the previous 3 numbers, and Neverworld's End being such a beautiful album from them, and whatever extreme you look at in terms of XANDRIA's delivery, whether it be on the classic symphonic side, or again, a modern influence on part of the metal element. Symphonic metal really has a vibrance to it, and XANDRIA beautifully demonstrates that with each piece I humor from them. But maybe you yourself have not yet been introduced. Call of the Wind will be your initiate encounter, though again, I recommend you take the deep dive yourself, and maybe take the journey alongside me in what we've humored thus far. Call of the Wind will be your start. I'm sure it'll be a great piece for you to initiate with XANDRIA. I have no doubt. Not just strings, or symphonic, give me a folk vibe. Love it. Bit Celtic, too. Or Celtic German. When you speak about the fiddles and violins, there's a balance, from what I've heard. drawn out operatic. I love that. Keep it stagnated duration. Successfully evoking that fantasy picture. The opening strings are doing a lot of that, but lyrics, vocals. Everything's working in balance here. The strings breaks really work here. It's a nice jump point for the number, and beautiful transition into the choruses. Expert flow. She's really reaching with that voice. Satisfactory mixing on several agents with this one. I love this. It's these transitions that are really working for me. Probably my favorite bridge from XANDRIA so far. Really fleshes out a new side to their work. In a way that's bridging other symphonic metal talents closely. From what I know. Construction-wise, this is, I think, the highest in superiority and adventurism. The last few pieces were great, but this one with that fiddle and the strings and then the riffs, the dual layer on that finish. There's a lot here. Robust material. So trading in the operatic pitch raise for a key change. Remaining at a lower range. Okay. So far. Let's see if that remains. We got one more measure here. Fiddle isolation. There's our climb. Anybody else hear that number if you're a Visions of Atlantis listener or think you're listening to one of their pieces? Never a favorite of mine in the symphonic metal territory, and there are many names to consider under that, and many I have yet to get to, but, you know, if you're familiar with Visions of Atlantis and you consider some of their softer numbers or ones that really, like, let's say, for example, the most recent album, Pirates, or their second to last album, Wanderers. And those came out way later. Maybe Neverworld's End, in particular, this piece acted as an influence. I don't know. I'm not sure. There could be. There's a similarity between the two, again, on the fiddle use. It's so dynamic here, though. Man, that's what introduces you. It's not the only track, though, of a quick vocal onslaught. That would be credit to Valentine. That's even faster. Aside from that very minuscule instrumental cue, Manuela is the first initiation agent to really bring you in with that piece. This one, instead, is a strings opener. Truly symphonic. And we speak again of the German origin of XANDRIA, and though I've said before, and this is... as I said, similarity to other talents that are coming through, not just even on the symphonic touch, but other extremes of in rock and metal. Folk rock, for example, we speak of the German origin, D'Artagnan, or folk metal, Feuerschwangs, other groups I've credited, again, when you see that particular strings presence, there's a similarity for me that comes across a bit Celtic, and you can put large responsibility on this from my 18-year dance history, 10-year history of river dance. Those were some great times. I miss those. This is the type of music that, again, an opening like that, it would have been like an Irish soft shoe number we would have used for performances. It just, that same voice, I love hearing it whenever it pops up. Reminiscence, though again, it quickly goes into the XANDRIA rock route via the chorus. And the structure and the evolution of those different sections, by the way, I look at the second verse, for example, and we don't hear this again on the opener, but on the refrain, you hear the vocal shift. We go from the lower range melodic to that higher nearing operatic, where that vibrato is more so fleshed out. That's where you really see it, is in that shift on lyrics and wording. So I was waiting for that as we went for the remainder of the piece together post that bridge, which was just so great. Again, I love that section. Stand out from XANDRIA's library for me. But when we go back again with the Sail Away verse, I'm waiting for it to do a recap, right? Again, to see that experience of, okay, as we near the conclusion of the song, we're going to get that operatic return, because it's what happened originally, and we don't till the final finish. Both melodic and operatic, because of the dual layering, naturally interact. So it feels specific. I love the voice of Never World's End, but this one in particular has, I think, the last three numbers were excellent. I don't want to overshadow those, but this is the one that I would say has the most independence on specific character. In particular, when you add in that fiddle cue, that's just what comes across to me. It's not that hard. Again, symphonic metal offers quite a versatility and diversity of expression. I appreciate its flow. Again, when I speak, though, of orchestral experiences, and XANDRIA always delivers on that with such prowess. Whether it be you look at the modern or classic fantasy veneers. The appearance here of Call of the Wind, again, that fit. Speaking of the wind, I mean, that's a great image to go for as well. It just naturally plays into the song and the way we flow in terms of the number. It has, fitting atmosphere in the way it's expressed in illustration. I really like this piece. And our time together, though, with Never World's End boasted substantial prowess from XANDRIA, an expression of an earlier era. And again, I'm going to entertain the rest of the album for myself, and I hope you would as well. But in the four tracks we humored together, wonderful experience, I think, that at least I can say. I had a wonderful time enjoying 4 tracks of this album with all of you. More to come, though, with XANDRIA. Again, I promised you a deep dive, and we're not just going to 2012 and then, taking a break period into the present day, where we've already been. We'll look at some upcoming albums, Sacrificium next. I've been waiting. Though this pause in what I had foreseen, again, of an unexpected decision to dig back further of Never World's End. It was warranted. I'm grateful I took it. What are your thoughts on this particular piece and our time together with Never World's End? I'd love to hear about it and your vantage point. Longtime fan, initiate listener, again, I welcome anybody, and I hope this is a fun experience for you however you approach. And I know going forward, we're going to certainly speak of that in high quality. Oh, I cannot wait for where we're going next. You thought Manuela was good, and she is. 4 numbers of introduction to her. I'll put it on the list maybe for future consideration to dig into what she's done presently, or maybe in collaborative work. We'll see. But I like XANDRIA was the origin for her, and it was a beautiful, beautiful voice to entertain. And the operatic metal vocalists are quickly drawing in a love with me. But I can just tell you in anticipation, again, not to overshadow her, because Manuela was great, but, I've really been looking forward to Diana. I've been waiting for a while to get to Sacrificium in particular because, well, it's not just XANDRIA we're taking a deep dive on, it'll be Diana as well. I can't wait for our next chapter. Though, of present standing, Never World's End was a great experience in what we were able to humor together. True XANDRIA. I love showcasing this group. Again, superior name within the symphonic metal territory. I love their work. I hope you did too, if this is in fact a fresh interaction for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.